I get one, but
All right.
no matter
Hey,
how. Yes, sir.
my fault. I'm trying to say it real quick. Right now, I'm on fucking fire, and then I saw what you got going on. That's putting gas on this fire,
Yeah,
and I need to do this.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay. We're gonna get together, man. Let's get together later on today or tomorrow, man. I mean, you got my number. Just text me, like, and then I'm usually in front of my computer doing something. I'm reworking things right now to offer my services as an agency.
Right.
Because I've been like piecing things together, like, look, I can do this, I can do that. But now I'm putting things together as an agency. So everything will be together. Like when I give you an offer, it'll be to do everything. You will be hands off. You literally gonna be like, look, bro, this is the budget. Let's get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I
Right.
won't have you do
Right.
nothing but hook up your social media, hook up an ad account, and then we'll run from there. So that's what I'm working on now is sending out offers as an agency, which is everything. So you won't have to piece anything together. Whatever you need, I'll do it. Like if you need a logo, I have my
Okay.
people do the logo. Whatever I don't do, I'm gonna have my people do websites. Like
Right.
I do basic websites, but they do like top of the line websites, man. If you want spinning heads when you open up the site, they do everything,
Right.
bro. Like so it's just about getting everything together. It's all based on what a person want to do. So let me share my screen and we're gonna get into this marketing. We got
All right.
people will join as they join. This particular thing is all about marketing, and it's a reason that I want to go over marketing. Last week I went over ads, and ads was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? The information was pretty good. And we had some people tap in. I'm not sure if you made it or missed it. I don't quite remember,
No, I didn't make it
um
last week.
but um but when I did it, I wanted to make sure that I went over it fully
Mm.
as far as advertising. So I went over the advertising thing and it's on the link. I'm gonna text everybody a link today. Once I post this, I'm gonna text everybody a link. So I really didn't need to share this because it's just words. Sometimes I do PowerPoints. I think last week I may have done a PowerPoint, but in this particular presentation, I want to cover marketing and the importance of marketing for small businesses. You see marketing and everything. And I want to go over the differences in branding and sales because people try to like lump everything together. So um marketing is the process of promoting, selling, and distributing a product or service. And it's different than advertising because it's a broader approach and the customer is more engaged with marketing. Advertising is, look, I'm putting me in your face. I'm putting my company in your face. And marketing has a few key elements and they call them the 4 P's, and it's even more now, it's 5 P's. And you got product, price, place, promotion, and your product is what you're actually selling. And what I just explained with you was that we have to get down and say, look, this is the product, this is what I'm actually selling. And
Mm.
sometimes the product is you, right? Sometimes I'm promoting me. I may promote my music, or I may promote a show, or I may promote something else. But you have to understand what the product is because different products have different target markets. And you do better actually niching down and saying this is the particular market that I'm going after with this product, and this is what I'm actually marketing. And once you understand that, you will understand that you have these other things that have to be in place too. So you got your price. So your product may be your DJ services. Then you have your price. You know how much you would charge for each type of DJ service. You may do house parties for 500, but you may charge $1,000 for bigger venues, which makes sense. Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather, but I'm making a commitment, so I'm sticking this. Then you got your place. So you may only market your DJ services for local parties or local venues. Again. And that's what you would tailor your promotions to. Local venues. If you were selling t-shirts online, you could promote to a wider audience because you'll have people buying t-shirts from all over the world. And you can send them a link. Here go the link, y'all buy my t-shirt. That's a different promotional strategy.
Mm.
Right. And that's something that we got to understand, that every product has a different promotional strategy. The price will determine the promotional strategy. You don't see Lexus promoting on Jerry Springer. I made that point before. You won't go selling pork hot dogs outside of a nation meeting.
Mm.
Even if they sneak and eat pork, they're not going to do it in front of each other. right? So you out there selling your pork hot dogs and it's 5,000 people in there, but none of those people are going to buy this hot dog, right? Where you go to somewhere else and it may only be 200 people there and 50 of them buy hot dogs. You have to understand what you're selling. You have to understand the target market and you have to understand where they are. That's why you got place. Place is the next P. Where are the people who are willing to buy your services? Then you have promotion. Once you know where they are, you know how to promote to them. That's the difference in promotion and marketing. Marketing is everything. Product, price, place, promotion. It's a lot of things considered. Promotion is just one aspect of marketing. Understanding branding, sales, and marketing, you need to understand the difference. I am probably going to cover branding next week, where I actually discuss branding and the importance of branding. But branding is all about shaping how customers perceive your business, and that could be a logo, that could be the way that you speak online or the way that you speak out in public. That's your brand. What people associate with you and whatever your product or service is. That's your brand. And your branding could be your logo, the colors, the fonts, the designs that you use within whatever you advertising or promoting. Your story and messaging. People love stories. A lot of people are familiar with my story and how I came to do what I'm doing now. I know you are, DJ Dollars or Rob, but I know you are. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people are familiar with my story and they're inspired by my story. If you're not familiar and you just watching this on YouTube or something, I'm a person that was in juveniles, boys' homes, foster homes. I did 9 years in the state prison, 4 years in the federal prison. I got out in 2021. And from 17 to 2021, I focused on my education. While I was in there, I ended up with an associate's degree. I came home and I got a bachelor's degree in 2023. And in 2024, I ended up with my master's degree. Well, I didn't end up with it. I worked for my master's degree and I've been running this company for about 3 years. And last year I did 6 figures. I worked my ass off of them 6 figures. And next year I want to make more money, but I want to get my monthly recurring revenue, which is MRR. I'm working on getting my recurring revenue up so I'm not working as hard for the money. And that way I can make more money. If I'm not working as hard for it, I can do more and I can charge more and I can make more money. So that's what I'm doing now, is working on my monthly recurring revenue. And that has came with a lot of changes to my business and a lot of different ways that I'm marketing. Right now, I am using all type of auto marketing, AI. Sometimes people text me, they get my AI. Somebody texted me earlier today on Instagram, and it's somebody I know personally, and they got my AI, and they was like responding to it. But I'm putting all of these things in place this year so I can reach my goals next year. I've already done better this year than I did last year, and that was the goal for this year, knowing that I had to finish school. But next year, I want to do twice as good as I'm doing this year. And I know that that's going to take automation and that's going to take a lot of different things that I'm working on within my business. So when I talk to other entrepreneurs, I talk to them from a place of I am you. I have been through a lot of the things you went through. I am going through a lot of the things you're going through. I have a whole family, including a fiance and 4 children, and I still handle my business because that's important. The people that's doing coaching with me, I don't take no excuses. I don't deal with no excuses because I don't make excuses. Right. So either you got it done or you didn't do it. That's it. It's no excuses. And that's what my brand is no excuses. Like I said, it's people on here that know me personally, it's people online that know me personally, and they see me overcome every obstacle because that's what entrepreneurship and elevation is all about. And that's what my brand is. So your brand is what attract people to you. Your brand is what people say, dang, they know what kind of shoes they getting from Nike or what kind of bag they getting from Coach or Prada or whatever. You know what you're getting from whatever the brand is. You have high-end brands, low-end brands. You have brands that's in Myers. You have brands that you have to make appointments to go buy a shirt from. You have different things like that. And you need to think about that within your business. What is your brand? And you connect with people emotionally. They want to know your story. And you have to think about your brand long term wise, right? What are people associating with you? If people are associating bad business with you, if people are associating uh just a terrible person or a person that's not consistent, or a person that's not going to handle their business, that's your brand. There's nothing you can do about it. If you go online and you read reviews of people business and they all bad, you're not going to deal with that business. But if you go on there, you don't have to know this person from a can of paint. But if they got all 5-star ratings, then you're more inclined to believe that they can do what you need them to do, or what they say they can do. And that's what branding is all about, is actually understanding the connection that you're making with people through whatever your colors mean something, your logo means something. I tell people all the time, like, do not go get this logo with this person on there and a chef apron if you a chef and holding up these pans or whatever. Like, you got to go get a logo that mean business. These character logos are okay and they look good on the side of your truck, but when you go to do real business with people and go get these loans and different things that you should be aspiring for, they're going to want some type of professionalism. Nike, we don't even know who Phil Nike is, who Phil Knight is. I apologize. You know, with Apple and different things like that, you see this logo. So I thought about that in my logo, and I rebranded last year because I had a bunch of words, and I rebranded, and I went and redid my websites, all of that stuff within the last year. I've rebranded everything within my business, and I'm getting paid for it. Like, I charge more money because I'm more professional now. I got things in place now. I can say, look, I'm professional. I'm only taking professional clients, and you can take your 250 somewhere else. I charge more than that, you know. So that's what you have to understand. Your brand is everything that is outward facing to people, what they see and what they associate with you. And that's so important. So once you understand brand, you can understand sales. So sales are the direct transactions between you and your customers. And a lot of the key aspects of sales focuses on actually making deals and closing them, how you generate revenue, and your one-on-one customer interactions. How do you interact with your customers? It doesn't have to be you. It could just be your assistant or your virtual assistant or whoever within your company. How are you dealing with signing people up and actually getting money from them and providing the service that you promised them? You have to think about that, because that's an important part of your business. Fulfillment can make you or break you. You may think you have things in order, and when it comes to sales, you do not deliver, and people will not visit your business or give you recurring business again. So the short-term versus long-term sales strategies. So you have to work on conversion. If you have enough leads and different things like that, your conversion of those leads into customers is where you make your money. So I have all of these leads from ads, and I got over a few hundred people that have signed up for my either my free course or my community, and these people are signing up. But if I'm not able to reach out to them via text or email or phone calls and actually get them to spend money, then it's no point. I'm spending money on ads. If I can't make these people spend money, and if I'm not offering them a service that they're willing to spend money on, then I'm wasting money. I might as well walk outside and throw money in the air. Right. And then in doing that, I build relationships. It's people that I've spoken with that that feel like they know me just from the ad and me speaking out. I had one person that ended up signing up for my software, and the software that the plan that she picked was $97 a month. And when they took the money out, she ended up like calling, but I was on one of these type of Zooms, and I couldn't answer the phone. And before I could get off, she was texting me about filing for a chargeback. Like, I'm like, dog, I don't even know you. So once I realized what had happened, and we went back and forth on the text because she didn't answer when I called back. We ended up getting on the phone and we ended up all right. Like, but she can take that with her, right? Like, dude was all right. I sent the money back, and the money cleared on my end. Everything was straight. I might have lost a couple dollars in the transaction, but in losing that couple dollars, she actually opened my eyes to another part of my business that I had to tighten up. And I was like, look, if nothing else happened, I spent like $7 to learn the part of this, to get to straighten up, which may end up making me thousands of dollars. Will make me thousands of dollars this year. In the next 5, 6 months, I'm gonna make thousands of dollars from that one conversation with her. And that conversation only cost me $5. And she left with a good taste in her mouth because I sent her money back without having to go through the process. So this is the type of things you have to think about when you're running a business. Now, once you understand branding and sales, you have to understand marketing, because how you deliver your product is going to determine how you market it. Who you deliver the product to is going to determine how you market it. Where you need to be in front of these people is going to determine how you market it. So, the marketing is the strategies and tactics that you use to attract potential customers. So, your potential customers may not be who you think they are, right? I've made this point before, but a lot of people get on social media and get in different places and they talk about their friends and family not visiting their business or not spending money with them or not doing this. Now, if you are a real estate agent and your cousin is buying a home in the area that you serve and they are not calling you, it may be other things involved. But if you are a real estate agent and your family members are not looking for a new home, why are you mad that they're not buying a home from you? They're not buying a home from anyone, right? This is not your target market. The target market is the person that's actually looking for a home. So you can't force a family member who's not in a position or not in the market for buying a home to buy a home from you just because you're a real estate agent, right? You have to think about these type of things in your business. If you are running a business to have family members appease you or to serve them, then you need to get with them before you go into business and say, hey, family and friends, what do you guys need most? And then provide that, because that's what's important in a business, is making money, not for your family and friends to pat you on the back. You have to make money. So, and you have in your marketing, you have different channels, right? So channels could be social media. You have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and then you have to prepare whatever content is most relevant on these particular platforms. So on these like on TikTok, TikTok is a more young, fun type of content. You get into there and you might want to dance and do the up videos to the music or whatever. That's what's going to get you more attention on TikTok. But on Facebook, you may have to make longer content, maybe video content or something. On Instagram, you may have reels. You may have a picture for a post, but you may have a video for a reel. You need to understand what content works best on whatever platform. Then you have SEO, which is your search engine optimization. If you are able to use search engines to actually bring you customers, then you are better off making sure your SEO is tight. So I just made a post right before I got on here about being on the front page of Google. I have not paid for Google ads. I pay for Facebook and Instagram ads, but I'm on the front page of Google when you look up a business coach or you look up business solutions or small business help or whatever. You have to be able to get on that front page. And the way that you do that is through proper SEO. And once your search engine optimization is tight on your website and on everything that you're doing, when people look up your product or service or something that's related to your business, you should pop up. If you are not on Google, you're missing business. If you are not on that front page, you're missing even more business, right? Then you have SMS and email marketing, which is what I use a lot of. You getting these emails from me, you're probably getting SMS messages from me, and they're from a system that I'm using. I have automation set up. Some of these messages are AI generated. Some of these messages are responsive. When you message me, you get responses from AI. And some of these things I get on there and actually send a message. So whatever it is, it's up to you to make sure that your marketing is tight. Now, once you understand marketing, you have to understand your target market. And if you don't have the right audience, then you can be wasting your time. I gave the analogy of selling pork hot dogs outside of a Nation of Islam meeting earlier. And I always use that analogy because it makes so much sense. The nation, they promote, do not eat pork, do not eat pork, do not eat pork. Why will you be out there with pork trying to sell to these 5,000 people that's in this hall? And you're thinking, well, there's a bunch of people there. Yeah, but these people don't eat pork. Why are you here? You're wasting time when you can be somewhere else selling to maybe 200 people where 50 of them actually will come and spend money with you. Don't worry about it being 5,000 people there. It's pointless. So what? They seen your truck, so they don't eat pork. It doesn't matter that they seen your truck. Don't believe the hype. You need money, not eyes. You're paying for money. You're paying for customers, not eyes. You're not paying for likes. You're not paying for views. You're paying for customers. You need people to spend money. You're in business to make money. unless you're in a nonprofit. And then you may still be looking for people to donate, right? But until then, unless that's the situation, you're in business to make money. So understanding your ideal customer or the customer avatar, you need to understand what demographics are, age, gender, income, education, location. Those are demographics. So you have these particular demographics, and you need to understand where your business aligns with these demographics, because you may be selling tampons, and those tampons are no good to people that do not need them. Right. So you have a aged issue, right? Because little girls have not experienced the need of tampons yet, or you have gender issues because men are not looking for tampons. I had to order some a couple days ago and didn't have a clue which ones you want. What the heck? What's the difference? I don't have a clue. So you marketing tampons to me makes no sense, right? Income level. If tampons were $1,000 a tampon, you do not want to sell tampons to people who work at a job where they only make $15 an hour. They're not about to spend $1,000 on whatever it is you have, unless it drastically changes their life, right? That's a percentage of what they make a year. If you're not about to change their life like a car or something like that, then they're probably not about to just give you $1,000, especially not for a t-shirt, unless they idiots. The location, you will not sell snow blowers in Florida, right? You have to understand what you're selling and who actually can use it, right? You don't sell snowblowers in California, right? Or in Texas. Michigan, you can sell a bunch of them. In New York, you may sell a bunch of them. But in Atlanta and Florida and Dallas and in LA, you're not about to sell snowblowers. You have to understand that, right? So the psychographics, so you have different values and interests and pain points, right? So the psychographic is more so things that you have to assume about a person, right? So if a person is a pastor, you have to assume they have certain values. If a person is a lawyer, you have to assume they have certain values, certain interests. But you can demographic is more concrete. You know that this person is 45 years old. You know that they make $100,000. You know that they live in Atlanta or Florida or LA, whatever. You know this, right? You can tell that with demographics. With psychographics, you can't really tell that. You can only assume, and you can make educated assumptions based on the fact that most people that live in this particular area may have these values, or most people who have this profession may share these values, right? You have to understand that. Or sometimes it's people that do X, Y, and Z, they share these interests. If you're a lawyer, you may like Matlock, so I may promote something law centered on Matlock. If you a lawyer, you may like Law and Order, so I may promote something that I'm gearing towards lawyers. I may promote it on some type of show like that. One thing I'm not going to do is sell something geared towards a lawyer on Jerry Springer. I'm assuming that if you are a lawyer, you have more important and pressing things to do. And even when you do watch TV, maybe you want to watch a show like Suits and not Jerry Springer, right? So I'm a promote in front of these people, in front of these, I'm gonna promote where I think these people are, not just to say it, well, it's 10,000 people watching Love and Hip Hop. Yeah, but that's not who you're geared towards, right? Who your product is being sold to, right? You have to understand that. So if you target the right way, you can increase your conversion rates. And what conversion rates are is you, if I make 1,000 phone calls today and I end up reaching 100 people and I only sell to 10 people, so I got a 10% conversion rate based on talking to 100 people. I sold 10 things. That's a 10% conversion rate, and your conversion rate could be higher. I'm shooting for 20 to 30%, and if I'm not hitting that mark, then I'm going back in and I'm making some adjustments because I'm not getting the type of leads that I really want. And that's important, right? So if increasing your conversion rate is important, and then it saves you money to target the right people, right? So if you are selling those hot dogs, pork hot dogs, and you are marketing to Muslims, then you are wasting money. But if you know that these people are not going to buy, and you take that marketing money and put it elsewhere, then you are consciously saving money, right? And then if you are promoting to the right people, they are more engaged with you, right? If you say the right things to them, they like more, they share more, they do more, and people follow what they think is being followed, right? So there are a few different tools you can use, including social media audience insights. You go on there and you can look up all types of things. And the importance of this is having the right KPIs, which are your key performance indicators. You need to know what's important for you to sell, not gaining more followers unless you're aiming to be some type of social media influencer. Gaining more followers will not mean you're selling more. I see people doing things and going viral, and the things that they're actually promoting are not things that will make them money, and that's crazy to me. So once you understand all of that, then you are able to put it together and market yourself properly. So this is how branding, sales, and marketing actually work together. Once you create a cohesive marketing strategy, take the time to get this strategy together. Then your branding has to be consistent across every touch point. And a touch point could be your Google My Business site, a touch point could be your social media, a touch point could be your office or wherever you are physically located, but everything should be consistent. They should not walk into your business and you have orange things all around your business and you've been marketing using blue. Decorate your office the same way that you're going to, the same colors, the same fonts, everything that you are using on social media and all of that. Everything has to be consistent or people are going to think they're in the wrong place. It's so important. People see my different color blues and they know I'm on real life business, right? I'm on business. Even the light that's usually on behind me is blue. Everything is blue, and I'm true blue. If you know some of my old music, I love the color blue. It is well, blue's become my favorite color. Green was my favorite color, and then they changed the color of money. So blue is now my favorite color. I'm announcing that today. But it's just that type of time. You got to understand that everything needs to be aligned. Your voice needs to be the same. If you are a funny guy on Facebook, you have to be a funny guy on Instagram, and everything else in your business. Everything you share have to be consistent. Make sure everything is consistent between your marketing strategy within your marketing area. So the customer journey, once you map this out, right? So you have awareness. How do people become aware of your business, right? And then you understand there, bam, this is how people become aware. This is how I can make more people aware. Then when they considering your product, what are they considering? Are they considering the price? Are they considering actually dealing with you because your Google My Business profile had no ratings? You had no type of people on there saying how great you are. They don't see you interacting with the right people on social media. What are they considering when they're thinking about using your business? So then you had to realize what are they using to make a decision, not what you think you're going to make a decision, but what are your potential customers using to make this decision between you and everybody else who can get the job done. And then you tighten that up. Well, they're thinking about X, Y, Z. I need to tighten this up. It's so important. So I help minority entrepreneurs for a reason, mainly because I'm a minority entrepreneur. And another thing is, I feel like we have a different set of circumstances that we're dealing with. A lot of us have never seen entrepreneurship that actually worked. A lot of us have never seen people that do what I do and actually consult and coach entrepreneurs. A lot of people have never seen people overcome the things that I've overcame in the manner that I've overcame them, right? So for me, that's my particular specialty, is actually handling business a certain way coming from where I'm from, right? So some people are not going to relate to me because they don't understand me. Some people are going to run from me when I say I have 10 felonies. Like, oh, this guy must be this. But the people who actually tune in and get the value from what I do, they understand that, man, I may have not been to prison, but I've had so many struggles in my life. Maybe I had a baby young. Maybe I have a brother that's in prison. Maybe I have a cousin that's in prison, or my dad was in prison when I was growing up, whatever. People relate to me a certain way and for different reasons. And that's my market. I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with that. everything is not for everybody. So me understanding this particular market helps me to spend less money in ads because I'm not targeting everybody. It helps me to understand the people that I talk to so they understand me and they're able to talk to me the way that we talk to each other. That's not for everybody. You have to understand that. If you have to deal with your customers and change who you are and be a person that you feel like they want you to be, that's not going to last too long because the truth always prevails. You should be able to be yourself. And mind you, you should be your best self. I'm not saying you walk in the room digging up your nose and doing nothing disrespectful if that's what you do at home. You be your best self, but you should be able to be yourself in front of the people that you're selling to. And that's so important. Right. So when you deal with my business and I help entrepreneurs like of all levels, I'm reaching for a higher level now. So I'm actually going into agency model. The agency model is just different because I'm doing everything. I talked a little bit with this with Rob before I start doing the presentation, but the agency model means you can come in and pay me to do everything. I was selling software the last like 7 or 8 months, and people were signing up for this software and they were barely using the software because it's a learning curve. So I'm like, look, instead of you buying the software, how about you pay me to run it? That way you don't have to, pay somebody to, be trained on the software and different stuff like that. And I've already had a new type of customer. They spending more money. Everything's getting done. But if I'm charging you less and you're paying me and not even using a software, then I'm doing both of us a disservice. Right. So that's what you have to understand. And whatever your business is, how are your customers using your product and how can you make it better? The agency model is how I make it better. It's going to cost a little more, but you're actually going to use the service because I'm going to do everything. Once we onboard you and I have all the information I need, it's out of your hands. You can give me suggestions, and of course, you paying me, so I'm gonna work it out. But I won't need you to log in the software, do X, Y, and Z, do this and that and that. And when I look up, I realize you haven't logged in the software in 2 months, even though I'm being auto paid every month. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to get the results that you promise if people are not liable for things that you can take care of, right? So as a small business, I feel great. Like I said, I did 6 figures last year and didn't realize it until I had to do my taxes. But I did 6 figures, y'all, and I've already made more money this year, and I got a whole 3.5 months left of this year, like a whole 100 days left, right? And I'm like, dog, I got another 100 days to make more money. And next year I want to reach my goals. So I actually had to sit down, and that's how I'm like, look, I got to run this like an agency to make the money that I want to make next year because I don't want people signing up and not paying me. I had one woman sign up for 6 months and never used the software, like never went in the software, never generated a lead, but she paid me for 6 months, probably telling herself every month, oh, I'm going to use that. Oh, I'm gonna get on there. I know because I've done it. I haven't done it with things that I just paid for a subscription for. Once I realize I ain't gonna use it, I'm going back in there and say, this ain't gonna work. But for things that I've just paid for, I got Wall Street Trappers. I got his he did like a whole stock market class, a whole course, and I paid $27 for that course and ain't opened it. I haven't logged in, nothing. I may have logged in to make sure that the credentials work, but I haven't done anything, y'all. And I know how that is, and I don't want to be that person. I want to be the person that you actually get value from. So we going into agency mode, fully, probably in the next 2 weeks. It'll be like fully. My reach out's gonna be full agency mode. If you want to get the software, I'm gonna send you a link and we can do that. But I'm going in a full agency mode, and it's a beautiful thing, and I'm excited about it. So, in conclusion, we went over the difference between branding, sales, and marketing, and the importance of actually targeting the right people for your business. And I just want to make sure everybody is in un, in of everybody has an understanding of what the differences are and the importance of those differences and the importance of being consistent in your marketing efforts, right? So I'm gonna open it up for anybody that want to speak. If anybody is here and want to speak, Well, I done talked and talked and talked. It looked like nobody is on here speaking. So I'm not going to be on here long. I got so much to do. As I said, I am switching over to a marketing agency, actual agency model, and I'm excited. So I got some things to do today. I am going to post this on YouTube, and I was in my zone. I don't know when people tapped out on me, but it's fine. It's completely fine. And I may even start posting these videos as parts of a podcast on Apple and different things like that. So I'm gonna look into that within the next couple of weeks. If you are interested in hiring us to do marketing for you, all you have to do is click the link that's under this video on YouTube, and we will get some marketing done for you. Y'all, I appreciate y'all for watching this video, and please reach out to me if you need anything else. I hope to hear from y'all soon.